I am standing here in my renovated space for future YouTube videos and just general tinkering around and browsing the internet once I get my monitor and computer back. And I'm very excited. So before the end of this year, I just wanted to record something. And I came up with this idea like 3 minutes ago. So it's completely on the fly. I'm not going to edit it. I'm just going to start talking. I felt like this idea made a lot of sense going into 2025, and also a lot of like, it plays on a lot of the things I've been thinking about myself at age 42. But if I could go back in time and give 20-year-old me, and by extension, I guess you, because this is on YouTube, advice, I think number one, and this is the only one I've thought of in advance because I do feel strongly about this, and it's pretty cliche, but I would say to go really, really easy on yourself and just forgive yourself. And there's nothing wrong with striving for greatness and perfectionism. I think it's amazing, but you got to go easy on yourself, especially when you mess up, especially when you make mistakes, because everybody does. If anybody listening doesn't think that the other people around them have made just as many stupid decisions and sometimes ones they're not proud of, well, you're wrong, because everybody does. And some people are just better at not acknowledging them or brushing them off easier. But if you're somebody like me who's kind of introspective, you can go really hard on yourself. So I would tell 20-year-old me, like, hey, it's me from the future. That's pretty weird, huh? So I must know what I'm talking about. Love yourself, go easy on yourself, and it's going to be a wild ride. So, yeah. Number two, I think I would just like explain making money a little clearer, so I didn't have to get there through 16-hour days and grinding and figuring it out on my own. I think I would just explain the basic concept that, hey, what is your business and how do you deliver that product or experience better than all your competitors? It's really that simple. It really is. And I would say to just continuously optimize everything, just every single piece of your business, optimize it. Look at everything in your business through the lens of, can I make that better? Even a little bit better, just a tiny bit better, I'm sounding ridiculous, but just even a little bit better. If you continue to do that over and over and over, you have a great business, probably the best business. So I would explain that a little clearer, because I think I was just striving for perfectionism for mental reasons and security reasons, rather than to achieve the financial goals that I had. I would definitely tell my 20-year-old self that once you have so-called made it financially, not as much changes as you think. The only thing, and it's a big thing, that's great, is that you don't really have to worry about, the like bills and stuff. That's huge. I'm not selling that short. That's huge. But it also comes with a lot of loneliness, a lot of not knowing which direction to go in life. It comes with a lot of negatives that aren't talked about, because the entire financial world is geared around the promise of you making money, and nobody's really talking about what is life like after you have it. There's just this weird thought or expectation that, well, it doesn't matter, like, you have money, so of course you're going to be fine, do whatever you want. And people dream of what they would do once they have money, but there's a big difference between falling into a pile of money and earning that pile of money. Because if you've earned that pile of money, you've given up so many parts of yourself to get there. So when you have the money, it's hard to re-find yourself. And if you are somebody who just falls into it, whether it's through inheritance or the lottery or something, a lot of times you don't really know what to do with the money and then you mess up anyway. So money's weird, and having a lot of money is not as clear as it seems to be. This is why very wealthy people often look like the biggest train wrecks. So I would tell my 20-year-old self that you are going to want to enjoy the journey, because once you reach the end of the journey, you have to start a new one. And sometimes it's not as clear what that new one is, especially if you thought, because the whole world told you retirement, financial independence is happiness, then you really, really kind of lost. And if you're like me, where you don't really know anybody else in that situation, it becomes pretty lonely, and it does kind of mess with your head a little bit. So I would tell my 20-year-old self to get ready to enjoy the journey and don't worry so much about ending the journey, aka making the money, because, so yeah, that's number 3. Number 4, again, just kind of coming up with this, trying to think of my own, where I am in my head. I would probably advise my 20-year-old self to really hold dear people who care about you. I think that people don't care as much. Okay, people don't care as much about somebody who cares for them if they don't really care about that person. So if there's this random human who admires me and loves me for whatever reason, I don't know why, it doesn't really matter, say they do, but I don't really care about them that much. I just don't care that much that then they care about me. I would advise myself to look at those people who actually are going out of their way for you and are showing you that they care. And I don't mean romantically and stuff like that. I just mean in general. And this goes for like parents too. I think a lot of younger people, their parents are kind of like, cringe to them, and they're older and they can't relate. But if they care about you, oh my God, like don't sell that short, because there will probably be times in your life where you don't feel anybody cares about you, and you're going to think back to those people that did, and you're going to wish that you had them. And so it's like, why not just appreciate how much people who care about you today care about you? So I would tell myself that for sure. I think on the same line, I would probably just emphasize community. I really would. Like through my 20s, I had like no social life at all. Our best memories are when we have community of some kind. Like I think that's why a lot of people talk about their college days being the best days of their life. And I always thought that was so sad. And it kind of is, but I also now at age 42, I get it. Even though I didn't even do that. I didn't go to college and live on a campus. So I didn't have that experience. But I can totally understand why that would have been the best years of somebody's life, because after that, everything is like, I don't know, we have these weird lives, especially in the United States, where it really truly is all about materialism and getting the latest vehicle and the latest, whatever. And it's that whole keeping up with the Joneses thing is very true. So anyway, I feel like I've always been aware of this. So if I told 20-year-old me that, I think I would probably just say, okay, I know, but I don't think I ever lived it. And I think I sacrificed a lot of that aspect of my life in order to pursue money, which I don't actually regret at all. I don't regret it, because it did work out well. And I think actually that's a good one. I would tell myself to not regret anything, because, and I have said this for a lot of years. What is the point of regret? There's really no point. At least in the context of how regret is seen, where, it's somewhat debilitating. Of course, we all look back and wish we didn't do certain things, but don't regret not going to college or going to college. Don't regret not starting this business or that business. Just start right now. Do whatever is on your mind right now. That's the best advice I can give. And I'm giving that to myself, really, because I'm at a point where I don't know what I'm doing. This is what I'm doing, talking on a, you know, YouTube platform, you know, on the YouTube platform. Don't know why sometimes, but I guess that is a good thing I would tell my 20-year-old self, though. I'm telling my 42-year-old self that right now, is that who cares? Who cares? For some reason I wanted to do this, so I'm doing it. Like, who cares? Like, what's the worst thing that's going to happen? Somebody's going to come in the comments and they're going to make some stupid, rude remark about how these 10 minutes or 15 minutes wasted their life. And it's going to make me feel a little bit sad. And that is stupid. That is just pointless. And also, that's more advice I'd give myself today and my 20-year-old self is don't let the 1% of bad comments dictate your mood. Don't. I've done it my whole life. I'm still doing that. On my last video, I had probably like 95% good comments, and the 5% I would just like, it would just bother me so much. And you know, we can't do that. 20-year-old me, 42-year-old me, 62-year-old me, you can't do that. So yeah, that. What else? I think maybe I would tell myself it's okay to spend a little more money. I didn't really spend much money for a long time, and I think that might have messed with me a little bit. I think that if you're working hard and you're making good money, or if you're, whatever, good money is relative, but if you're doing well and you want something, get it. Like, don't worry too much about hoarding all of your money, because I think even if you do and then you have a lot of money, then what you're doing is just, I mean, you should have money and you should build a nest egg. I'm all for that, but you just become this person who's just worried about their money. And I would tell my 20-year-old self to maybe spend a little bit more and enjoy yourself a little bit more, which like I said, I didn't do in my 20s. I did in my 30s for sure, and I kind of am in my early 40s here, but yeah. What else? I think I would also advise 20-year-old me to, there's some obvious ones, but it's not really relevant to me because I did exercise. I think I would tell myself to eat better at an earlier age. I've eaten pretty well for the last 10 years, but maybe through my 20s, maybe I should eat a little bit better, but whatever. That's kind of boring. So yeah, I don't really have too much else. Hopefully this maybe resonates with somebody, and I just really wanted to get a video out before the new year begins, and in my almost finished office. And yeah, I'm just holding the mic because nothing's set up now. So, okay, bye.